Sir.
So next we'll move on to the class B amplifier. Okay, in previous class we discussed about classification of power amplifier and class A amplifier, right? Is it? So next we'll move on to the one, there is a small derivation for the class A amplifier. Okay, after that we'll move on to the class B amplifier. Understood? So take now derivation for the class A amplifier with maximum power transformation. So here first to take the class A amplifier circuit diagram here. Okay. So what is the efficiency of class A amplifier here? Do you know that one? You take circuit diagram here. This is the class A amplifier circuit diagram. Okay, and they have connected two transistor here, Q1 and Q2. Q2 for in order to drive the Q1 transistor. Okay, Q1 is output transistor here. Q2 is what here? It's a driver transistor. Understood? There are two transistors, Q1 and Q2. Q2 is driver. Q1 is output transistor here. So input is applied for the output transistor here. Okay, Q2 for they have taken biasing here by using the resistor and diode. Understood? Here Q2 it will generate the DC current. Okay, it will generate the what here DC current here, but Q1 it will generate the what here AC current. Understood? So here you have to take Q1 as a AC current output and AC voltage output here, and Q2 for only for DC. Okay, so Q2 is going to be here negative VCC. Okay, Q1 is going to be here plus VCC. Okay, so Q1 and Q2 is operated DC. Okay, plus VCC for the Q1 and minus VCC for the Q2. Okay, Q2 will generate the DC current I. Okay, Q1 will generate the AC current. Understood? So total output of the class A amplifier is AC only. Okay, AC voltage and AC current. Same thing they have taken for the maximum power transformation here. See here you take power conversion efficiency. Okay, power conversion efficiency. You have to find out the efficiency. How are you going to find out the efficiency here? Output power divided by input power. Okay, you have to take the equation, efficiency equation here. That is output power divided by input power. So what is output power here? Load power. Okay, PL is what here? Load power here divided by input power. That is supply power. Understood? So take now output power divided by input power. Load power is output here. Supply power is input here. Understood? So in this circuit diagram in class A amplifier here, we want to take the sinusoidal output voltage. Okay, we have to consider class A amplifier output as a sinusoidal, means AC output voltage. So for that you can express the V0. Okay, V0 and dash. Okay, this one is V0 dash here. Okay, V0 dash nothing but we are making a AC output voltage. Understood? Dash nothing but AC. Understood? So here we want to take the average load power. Okay, because we'll get a positive and negative voltage, right, for the output side. So in between the positive and negative, you have to take average power here. Okay, so for that to write the equation now, PL means output power, that should be equal to what here? V0 dash divided by square root of 2 whole square divided by RL. Means you have to express the AC voltage in RMS value. Remember this one. You have to express the AC voltage in RMS value. So for that you take now V0 dash divided by square root of 2 whole to the power of square divided by RL. Then simplify here. So what you get here? 1 by 2 into V0 square dash divided by RL. Okay, this is the output power. So we got output power from the AC output voltage here, that is 1 by 2 into V0 square dash divided by RL. Okay, after that you take input power. So here you take now output power, nothing but it's a Q1 transistor. Understood? Q1 nothing but what here? It's output transistor, right? So Q2 means what here? It's a driver transistor. So here you take now driver transistor, it will generate the constant current here I. Okay, because it will receive the negative voltage minus VCC. Emitter is connected to negative VCC here. So for that it will generate the constant current here. So when you come for the Q1 here, it's output transistor. Okay, means we can calculate the average current because there is a AC current, right, for the Q1, positive current and negative current. For that you take average. Understood? So average means you always have to take AC current and AC voltage. Understood? So here they have taken current. Okay, so average current Q1 that should be equal to DC current. Understood? So Q1 current and Q2 current almost equal. Okay. So Q1 it will generate the AC current. Okay. Q2 will generate the DC current here because Q2 it will in biasing mode here. Okay. So from biasing mode it will generate the DC current. Okay. Q1 will generate the AC current. Okay. So now Q1 and Q2 current almost equal here. Understood? From that you can write the equation, that is input power. Okay, input power means you have to take now power supply. Okay, you have to take average power supply here. So what is the power supply here for the transistor? DC voltage plus VCC and minus VCC. Okay, plus VCC it is going to be here Q1 transistor. Minus VCC is going to be here Q2 transistor. That's why you take now VCC as the power supply for the Q1 and Q2 transistor. Understood? Whether it is positive or negative here, but when you come for the average here, we have to neglect the sign. Okay, have to neglect the sign here because we want to take the average, right? So average means we have to take the sum of the power divided by 2. Understood? So for that to take only VCC. So here I have taken the input power means 2 into VCC into I. What is P equation here according to Ohm's law? V into I. Okay, we have taken DC voltage multiplied by the DC current. Okay, DC current it is produced by the which transistor? Q2 transistor. Understood? Q2 transistor to generate the DC current. Then Q1 for what here? AC. But in power equation we can write DC voltage multiplied by the DC current. Then multiply by the 2. Why they have taken 2 here? Because we have connected 2 transistors, Q1 and Q2 here. That's why you take now 2. Understood? So 2 nothing but what here? We are using 2 transistor here, Q1 and Q2. Multiply by the DC voltage, that is plus VCC and minus VCC, multiply by the DC current produced by the Q2 transistor. Okay, so this is for the input power supply, and this is for this equation for the load power, means output power. So take efficiency now. What is the formula efficiency now? Load power divided by supply power, means output power divided by input power. So what is the output power equation now? 1 by 2 into V naught square dash divided by RL. What is the input here? 2 VCC into I. Substitute here. Okay, substitute in this efficiency equation. Then simplify here. Okay, then simplify here. What will get here now? 25%. Okay, almost will get a 1 by 4 here. That is 0.25. Okay, so you get now 25%. Understood? So this is for the class A power conversion efficiency. Okay, that is for the 25%. In examination, they will ask for the 6 marks. Okay, first you write the circuit diagram, then you write the efficiency equation, then you write the output power equation, input power equation, circuit in efficiency here, then simplify. Okay, then simplify here, you'll get what here? 0.2. Means that should be equal to 25%. Okay, here the taken V naught is equal to VCC. Remember, for simplification, this equation what the taken here, V naught is equal to VCC, means here DC voltage is equivalent to AC voltage, because we are going to convert DC to AC. Okay, for the class A amplifier, we are converting DC to AC here. That's why you can take the AC voltage almost equal to DC voltage. Okay, so wherever V naught is there, you can substitute the VCC. Okay, or wherever VCC is there, you can substitute V naught. Okay, from that you can simplify this one here. Okay, you get now 1 by 4. Means we'll get a 0.25, then 25%. Understood? See here, the given the maximum efficiency can obtain when AC voltage is equal to DC voltage. Okay, V naught dash is equal to VCC. Okay, VCC is equal to what here? E into RL. Okay, from this equation we can put it here. We'll get a 25%. Okay, efficiency for the class A amplifier. Okay, they will ask for the 6 marks. Remember this. This is very simple here, but you have to practice. So AC voltage is equal to DC, DC is equal to I into RL. Okay, all are same equation here. V is equal to what here? I into R, right? Same thing that taken DC current and the load resistance. So next we'll move on to the class B power amplifier here. First you take circuit diagram. This is the complete circuit diagram of the class B amplifier. So what is the output of the class B amplifier here? Only you get a half cycle. Okay, see the circuit diagram. waveform here. See, this is the class A, right? Class A almost are getting a full cycle. How much here? 360-degree cycle. What about class B here? We're getting only half cycle. Okay, we're getting only half cycle here, that is 180-degree cycle. Understood? So almost we're getting 180-degree cycle here. So 180 means here Q point, it is located where here? Lower side of the DC load line. Okay, key point is located at the lower side of the DC load line here. So that's why we're getting only half cycle here. Okay, positive half cycle. Understood? Means we're getting 180-degree cycle. Okay, that is a class B amplifier. Same thing, you have to derive the equations for the class B here. So take circuit diagram here. Total how many transistors they have connected here? 2 transistors. Which are those here? One is NPN transistor, second one is PNP transistor. They have taken 2 transistors. NPN and Reno. The majority carriers are electrons. PNP means the majority carriers are holes. Okay. So here the holes are very good for negative voltage. Okay. Holes it will carry the negative voltage. Okay. Electrons it will carry the positive voltage. Understood? Remember this one. Holes are responsible for the negative voltage. Okay. Electrons are responsible for the positive voltage. Okay. Already we discussed in third semester, right? What is P type? What is N type? So here you take NPN transistor. Okay. So why you want to take NPN transistor here? Because it is connected to plus VCC. Okay. NPN it is connected to where here? Plus VCC. Then they have taken PNP transistor. It's going to be here negative VCC. That means PNP transistor is good for in order to drive the negative voltage. NPN transistor is good for in order to drive the positive voltage. Understood? That's why I have to connect NPN and PNP. PNP for negative DC, NPN for the positive DC. So you take inputs of the both transistor. What is the input here? Base and base. Okay, you take base of the NPN transistor and in PNP base you take here, make it short here, give it for the input voltage. Okay, input voltage is what here? AC. Okay, VI is what here? AC supply here. So take now VI is a AC voltage for the base to base and the base of the NPN, base of the PNP. So apply VI for the base of the NPN transistor means Q1 transistor, then base of the QP transistor. Okay. So what is output here? Emitter is output. Remember here emitter is output. Collector is connected where here? VCC. Okay, collector is means output terminal. It is connected where here? VCC. Then emitter they'll short here for the both transistor. Then they will take it as a output here. Okay, they will short emitter and emitter. Then they will take it as an output voltage. Okay, outputs are calculated load resistance, not to measure the output voltage and current here. So here we want to take complete circuit diagram of the class B. After that, you have to analyze which one is on condition, which one is off condition. Okay, so VI is what here? AC, right? Suppose when AC is positive cycle here, okay, when AC is positive cycle means positive voltage here, then which transistor becomes on condition here? Which transistor becomes on condition? Sahana GB. Sahana GB, are you present in the class? No. Sahana H.
Yes, sir.
Suppose if I apply positive for the Q1 transistor, means NPN transistor here, whether it is been on condition or off condition here. Don't know.
Sir, say the question once again, sir.
See, if you apply positive here for the Q1 transistor, okay, what is the status of this Q1? Either it will be in on condition or off condition. Understood my question? See here, for the NPN transistor, suppose if I apply positive voltage here, then it becomes on condition. Okay, because electrons are good for not to drive the positive. Okay, so if I apply positive voltage for the NPN transistor, it will be in on condition. Suppose if I apply negative voltage for the PNP transistor, it will be in on condition. Remember this one. Okay, negative voltage for the PNP on condition, positive voltage for the NPN, it will be in on condition. Okay, suppose if I apply negative voltage for the NPN, what happens here? It will be in off condition. Suppose if you apply positive voltage for the PNPR, it will mean off condition. Understood? So always you take negative voltage for the PNP, positive voltage for the NPN. Okay, for the on condition. So take equations now. Okay, I have to write the equations here. First you take KVL. Okay, apply the KVL here. Okay, let's write the equation. So you take Q1 transistor. Okay, you take Q1 transistor, apply KVL for the output side. Output ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದರಲ್ಲಿ collector and emitter. Okay, you take collector and emitter, apply the KVL plus VCC minus VCN. Okay, then minus V0. That should be equal to what here? 0. KVL means what here? Sum of the voltage, that should be equal to 0, right? So you take plus VCC minus VCN. N ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ NPN transistor. Okay, then minus V0. So V0 to take it outside here, what will get here? Plus VCC minus VCN. Understood? So this is for the KVL equation for the Q1 transistor. Okay, same thing can you write it for the QP transistor here? So what will get here? QP transistor minus VCC, then plus VCP minus V0. So V0 to take it outside here, what will get here? Minus VCC plus VCEP. Okay, VCEP. This is the equation for the QP transistor. Understood? So next here you take transfer cat6. This is the transfer cat6 for the class B amplifier. Okay. So here you take x-axis and y-axis. X-axis means what here? Vi. Okay. Y-axis means you take V0. Means transfer cat6 means what here? It's a relationship between the input and output. Understood? So take now for the x-axis, they have taken input, that is input voltage. Apply the input voltage like 0.5. In 0.5 there is no output voltage. Why? Because the BJT it will take 0.7 voltage for the conduction. Minimum voltage for the conduction is how much? Cut-in voltage 0.7, right? For the silicon. So the transistor will be on condition after the 0.5 voltage. Okay, this is for the Q1 transistor. What you're talking about this right side Q1 transistor. Okay, because this is for the positive VCC, right? This for the first quadrant for the positive voltage. So if I apply positive voltage here, okay, after the 0.5, then transistor becomes a on condition. So when it is on condition here, it will conduct the input voltage. Then they'll get output voltage, that is in linear. So this is for the on condition. That is why they made slope is equal to 1. Andre linear condition. In linear condition, voltage is increases by applying the input voltage. Okay, after reaching the maximum level, saturation level, it will be in constant mode. Okay, they have taken cutoff condition, linear condition, saturation condition. Okay, cutoff condition below the 0.5, 0 voltage. Linear condition means after the 0.5, there is increasing output voltage. In saturation, it will be in constant maximum voltage. What is the voltage level for the maximum? Here you can write KVL equation. What is KVL equation for the saturation? V0 is equal to plus VCC minus VC saturation N. Okay, here you taken right. What is the output voltage for the Q1 here? Plus VCC minus VCN. Same thing they are given. Okay, this is the maximum output voltage level. Okay, for the NPN transistor. Understood? So what is the input condition for this point here? We can write same equation plus VCC minus VC saturation plus we have to add cut-in voltage. What is cut-in voltage here? 0.5 they have taken it. Same thing you do it for PNP transistor also. Okay, PNP transistor, it will conduct what here? Negative voltage, right? So that's why you take third quadrant. Okay, third quadrant will get a negative voltage and negative output voltage. Okay, negative input voltage, negative output voltage. That's why you have to take third quadrant. In third quadrant, what happens here? Below the minus 0.5, there is no output voltage. This is cutoff condition. Okay, then you take after the minus 0.5, you get a linear. Okay, you will get a linear, means increasing negative output voltage because of PNP transistor. So after reaching the maximum level, then transistor becomes a saturation mode. In saturation, you get a constant output voltage. What is the level here? V naught is equal to minus VCC plus VCE saturation P. Okay, what is the input condition now? Minus VCC plus VCE saturation minus VBP. Okay, VBP means voltage is following from emitter to base for the PNP transistor. Okay, not from base to emitter. Okay, this is also cutting voltage. For the PNP, you have to take reverse. Okay, not base to emitter, you have to take emitter to base. That's why written VBP. Understood? So this is for the transfer cat 6. In exam, you have to write the circuit diagram plus transfer cat 6. Okay. Then you have to write the equations by applying the KVL. What is output voltage equation for the NPN transistor, then PNP transistor. Okay, that you have to mention. Understood? Then you take output of the class B amplifier. What is the output of the class B amplifier? We'll get only half cycle, right? Is it? So if you take a single transistor here, the output becomes only half wave. Suppose if you take a two transistor here, then we'll get a full wave. Understood? Suppose if you take only NPN transistor. Okay, NPN transistor means you'll get only positive output voltage. Positive output voltage. Suppose if you use the NPN and PNP, then you'll get a positive and negative voltage. See the output here. Understood? If you use the only one transistor, okay, suppose if you use the NPN transistor, the output becomes a positive voltage. Suppose if you use the PNP transistor only, then you get a negative voltage, that is half. Suppose if you combine, okay, suppose if you combine PNP and NPN, we'll get a full cycle. A full cycle means what is 360-degree cycle you got. Understood? Because we are going to join Q1 and QP. See here, they have taken two transistors, right? Q1 for the positive voltage, QP for the negative voltage. Suppose if you join, that is in series here. Okay, now connected two transistors in series form. Okay, suppose if you connect two transistors in series form here, you get a full cycle. Okay, full cycle means you get a positive and negative voltage. Understood? See this curve here. Okay, see this curve here. The Vi is what here? X-axis. V naught is what here? Y-axis. Okay. Here they will apply the input signal. Okay, they will apply the input signal means positive and negative cycle here. Okay. If you apply negative first here, we get a positive because this one is the inverted output. Okay, means we'll get a 180-degree phase shift here. Okay. If you apply negative here, you get a positive. Suppose if you apply positive here, you get a negative. Suppose if you apply negative here, you get a positive. Understood? There is a change in the cycle because this one is the inverting amplifier. Class B is what is inverting amplifier. Okay, so you get inverted output. The main drawback is, and the class B is, will get a delay here. Okay, see here, from 0 to 0.5, there is no voltage. See this curve here, 0 to 0.5, there is no voltage. Why? Because the transistor will take some voltage for the conduction. Okay, after the 0.7, it will be 0.5, it will be start conducting. Okay, so after start conducting means once you got the positive cycle here, again you get a delay because we need to switch on the again PNP transistor. Okay, so after switch on the NPN transistor, you have to switch on the PNP transistor. Okay, there is a delay in between the switching from NPN transistor to PNP transistor. Okay, that's why you're getting delay. This delay is called as a crossover distortion. Okay, so what you call this one here? crossover distortion. This one is a drawback here. Understood? First, you have to enable the NPN transistor. Okay. So after enabling the NPN transistor, then you have to enable the PNP transistor. Okay, there is some time here. There is some delay now to switch from NPN to PNP. Okay, that delay can called as a crossover distortion. Understood? See here, there is a dead band results in crossover distortion. Understood? Because so input means what here? There is a full cycle, right? Means positive and negative cycle. When there is a positive here, NPN will be on condition. Okay. After that, you have to apply the negative. Okay. Suppose if you apply negative here, then PNP becomes on condition. Understood? So first NPN will be on condition here. After that, PNP will be on condition. There is a delay. Okay. There is a delay from changing switch from NPN to PNP. Switch and then connection. Okay, we want to take the connection from NPN to PNP. There is some delay here. Okay, that is crossover distortion. Okay, that is a crossover distortion. So next you take power conversion efficiency for the class B amplifier. Okay, we want to take efficiency equation. We know that what is the efficiency here? Output power divided by input power. First you find out output power here. Okay, so output power is what here? Either AC or DC here? AC. Okay, what is output power here? AC. So for that you write PL equation 1 divided by 2 V naught square divided by RL. Means power they are going to express in voltage form, not current. Okay, so PL is equal to 1 by 2 V naught square divided by RL. So V naught square it's a RMS. The RMS value here, that is AC. So next you take input power. What is input power here? Source power. In source power, you have to take two voltages, minus VCC plus VCC, because they are connected to transistor, right? Q1 and QP. Okay, Q1 for the plus VCC, QP for the negative VCC. So for that you can take plus input voltage minus input voltage. That should be equal to what here? 1 divided by pi V naught square divided by RL into VCC. VCC means this one is the DC input voltage. Okay. So 1 by pi means what here? We are getting only half cycle here. Okay, 1 by pi means you can take only half cycle. Okay, so here they are taken half cycle for the plus VCC, half cycle for the negative VCC. That's why it is 1 by pi. Multiply by the same output voltage divided by load resistance. Multiply by the input voltage. What is multiply by input voltage? That is DC voltage, VCC. Okay. Next, if you combine, two transistor power here, okay, means Q1 and QP power, if you combine here, you'll get a 2 multiplied by the 1 by pi, then V naught divided by RL into VCC. Okay, this is for the individual, okay, Q1 and QP, individual power here. Suppose if you take a total power, means Q1 and QP here, we'll get 2 divided by pi, the V naught divided by RL into VCC. Understood? Then substitute in efficiency equation. That is output power divided by input power. What is output power here? Load power. Okay, what is the equation here? 1 divided by 2 V naught square divided by RL divided by what is input power here? Total input power 2 divided by pi V naught divided by RL into VCC. Understood? Then simplify here. Okay, then simplify. You'll get now pi by 4 into V naught divided by VCC. Suppose when output voltage is equal to input DC here, means V naught is equal to VCC. So what will get here? Pi by 4. Okay, you take equation now. V naught is equal to VCC. So what will get here? Pi by 4. Pi by 4 means how much you got here? 78.5% efficiency. Okay. In class A, how much you got here? 25%. In class B, how much you got here? 78.5%. Understood? So this is the maximum power efficiency equation. Understood? Next, you take power dissipation. Okay, power dissipation means you can take power consumption. Okay, so power consumption means you can take difference between the input power and output power. Okay, difference between the input power and output power. What is the input power equation? What we got here? 2 divided by pi, V naught divided by RL into VCC we got here. Minus what is the output power here? 1 divided by 2 V naught square divided by RL. You make a difference here. Okay. Then we got final equation. Two into VCC square divided by pi square RL. Okay, this is the equation here. Okay, here you take V naught as a 2 divided by pi into VCC. Okay, V naught means it's the output voltage. Okay, AC output voltage. What is the equation here? 2 divided by pi into VCC. Okay, you take this equation here. Okay, wherever V naught is there, you can substitute 2 divided by pi into VCC here. Then simplify here. You'll get total power consumption for the class B. How much here? 2 into VCC square divided by pi square into RL. Okay. Once you do the derivation here, then you can understand. Okay. So after substituting how much you got here, 2 VCC square divided by pi square into RL. Understood? Then you take power dissipation curve. Okay, this one is the V naught versus power, means output voltage versus power consumption. Okay, so here they have taken minimum power here. Okay, minimum voltage. After that, they have taken maximum output voltage. Okay, so minimum output voltage means you can take 2 into VCC divided by pi. After that, you take maximum output voltage, that is VCC. Understood? So here, when there is a minimum voltage here, the power consumption also increases. Okay, power consumption also increases. Suppose if you take a maximum power here, then power consumption also decreases here. Okay, once power start decreases here, the efficiency becomes a more. Okay, so almost you have to reduce the power consumption if you design any circuit here. Understood? So if you take a maximum output voltage here for the class B, we can reduce the power consumption. Understood? Suppose if you take a minimum output voltage here, the power consumption is more here. That's why I got 50% of the efficiency. Understood? Almost you have to take maximum output voltage in order to reduce the power consumption. Understood? So what is the maximum power dissipation equation here? 2 into which is square divided by pi square into RL. This is for the class B amplifier. In class A, how much you got here? Power conversion efficiency 25%. Is it 25%? In class B, we can vary the power efficiency from 50 to 78.5%. If you take a minimum output voltage here, we got 50% here. Suppose if you take a higher output voltage here, we'll get a 78.5%. This one is the variable. Okay, this is the variable conversion efficiency from 50% to 78%, 78.5% for the class B amplifier. Okay, so what is the maximum power conversion efficiency for the class B? 78.5%. What is the minimum power conversion efficiency? That is 50% for the class B. Understood? Minimum efficiency how much here? 50. The maximum how much here? 78.5. Okay, like that you have to consider. For the next class, we'll start with the problems here for the class B. So any doubts are there, you can ask me now.